Eala strives for greatness in ultra-competitive tennis world. Greatness is forged in the quiet, boring moments, the daily routines, the repetition, and the commitment to show up even when motivation fades. Eala knows she needs tons of patience in her pursuit of becoming the best. The one-time WTA 125 champion believes there's a lot of work to do. I think, well, consistency is something difficult when you're on tour and you're facing so many of these players, said Eala after her 6-4, 6-0 round of 16 win triumph over Japan's Himino Sakitsune to book her quarterfinals ticket in the WTA 125 Philippine Women's Open Wednesday evening, January 28. And I think you definitely have moments where I would say you're playing better. I think that's what makes the great so great is that they're able to show up time and time again, added the 20-year-old sensation. But for her, the challenge is far from daunting as the WTA number 49 continues to strive for excellence. And I'm learning how to do that. I'm definitely doing my best to maneuver every situation, because every day you wake up and there's something different, Eala continued. Yeah, so like I said, that's what makes the greats great and I'm trying to figure out how to achieve that also, she added. The charming 5'9" lefty looks to add another feather in her glowing cap as she enters the quarters as the lone Filipina bet remaining in the maiden PH Open at the Rizal Memorial Tennis Center in Manila later Thursday. There, the number 2 seed Eala tangles with number 5 seed Colombian Camila Osorio for the first time in WTA Tour. Outside distraction a big no for Eala. Eala's discipline extends beyond the court, as she vows to safeguard her health in every facet of her well-being. And as a public figure, the rising star is mindful of who she listens to, her team, and appreciates the positives and respects the negative opinions from the public. And I really appreciate the support, the positivity, and you're entitled to your own opinion, even if it's negative about me. My approach to it is that I have my team and they will definitely tell me if there's criticism or they will definitely provide me with constructive criticism, said Eala. They work in my best interest. They also give me positive feedback. So that's, of course, along with my own opinion and the opinion of my team is what I prioritize, she added. They definitely give me two sides and I know that they have my best interest at heart. In the ultra-competitive world of tennis, greatness is never handed out. It is chased, defended, doubted, and chased again, across continents, across surfaces, across years that demand more resilience than applause. For Eala, that chase began early, armed not only with a racket and a dream, but with a quiet audacity, the belief that a Filipina could belong on the sport's grandest stages. Tennis is a lonely sport. There are no timeouts to hide in, no teammates to cover a moment of weakness. The court is a rectangle of exposure, and every point is a small referendum on belief. For a player like Eala, growing up far from tennis's traditional power centers, that exposure came with extra weight. The sport's history is thick with champions from Europe, the Americas, and Australia. Southeast Asia, by comparison, has been a whisper. To pursue tennis from the Philippines is to learn early how to carry hope for more than just yourself. Eala's journey reflects that understanding. From the moment she stepped onto international courts as a junior, she carried a sense of purpose that went beyond rankings. Her left-handed game, fluid, aggressive, and deceptively calm, became her signature. But it was her mindset that separated her. She played with patience uncommon for her age, constructing points as if she were already studying the match from the future. Wins came, and so did attention. Losses followed too, as they always do in a sport that humbles even legends. Yet neither seemed to sway her compass. The ultra-competitive tennis world does not forgive potential. It demands proof. Every season brings new prodigies, new power hitters, new narratives eager to replace the old. For young players, the margins are brutal. A slight dip in confidence, an injury at the wrong time, a loss in a deciding tiebreak, and momentum evaporates. Eala has had to navigate these realities while still growing into her own body, her own expectations, her own name. Training at elite academies exposed her to the sport's highest standards. Days were measured in repetition and refinement. Footwork drills until legs burned. Backhands struck thousands of times until muscle memory overruled doubt. But beyond the physical grind was a quieter battle, the internal negotiation between ambition and patience. Tennis careers are marathons disguised as sprints. To strive for greatness is to accept delayed gratification, to believe that invisible progress matters even when scorelines do not yet reflect it. What makes Eala's pursuit compelling is not just the milestones she has reached, but the restraint with which she carries them. In a culture that often rushes young athletes toward stardom, she has appeared grounded, aware that hype is fragile and growth is not linear. Each tournament becomes a classroom, each opponent a mirror. When she wins, she studies why. When she loses, she studies longer. There's also the matter of representation. Every time Eala walks onto court with the Philippine flag beside her name, she disrupts expectations. Young players back home see possibility rendered tangible. Tennis courts in Manila, Cebu, and beyond feel a little closer to Paris, London, Melbourne, and New York. Greatness, in this sense, becomes communal. Her success is not just personal ascent, it is cultural expansion. Yet representation can be a double-edged sword. It amplifies pressure. Every result is magnified, every slump scrutinized. The question shifts from how is she developing to why hasn't she arrived yet? This is where the ultra-competitive world tests character. The noise is relentless, the calendar unforgiving, the body human. To keep striving amid all that requires a rare discipline, the ability to tune out urgency without losing hunger. Eala's game continues to evolve. Power is added carefully, not recklessly. Defense sharpens. Shot selection matures. These are not headline-grabbing transformations, but they are the kinds that sustain careers. Greatness in tennis is not built in viral moments. It is assembled point by point, season by season, often away from cameras. There will be days when the mountain looks too steep, when the draw is cruel, when confidence flickers. Every champion has stood in those shadows. What separates those who summit from those who stall is not the absence of doubt, but the refusal to let it dictate direction. Eala's story, still being written, suggests she understands this truth deeply. In the end, striving for greatness is less about guarantees and more about commitment. It is about choosing the long road when shortcuts beckon, choosing learning over panic, choosing belief when evidence is incomplete. Alex Eala's pursuit unfolds in the hardest arena tennis offers, one where talent is abundant and mercy scarce. And yet, she keeps walking forward, racket in hand, eyes steady on a horizon she has dared to imagine. Whether or not the final destination includes trophies and headlines, the journey itself already matters. Because in striving openly, relentlessly, and with quiet courage, Alex Eala has redefined what is.